special edition of the Overdrive. We're at Buck's Family Restaurant in Easley, South Carolina. One of the reasons or the main reason we're here tonight at Buck's is to give away the 2003 Living Legends Award. Now, how this thing came about 4 years ago, we had an idea to do it, and it's worked out great since then. We've had 3 great winners, and tonight now let's go ahead and do the honors. What happens is we had several nominees over the upstate, actually tens of nominees over the upstate for obviously their accomplishments in sports throughout their years, and we narrowed it down to 4 or 5 finalists, and with 3,000 votes, it's our pleasure. The listeners voted on it online, and it is our pleasure to present the 2003 Living Legend Award to Marty Knight for his excellence in sports of martial arts and continued dedication to the betterment of young people's lives throughout the upstate. This is sponsored by Super Sports FM, WCCP, and Trophies Unlimited. So, Marty, it's my pleasure to present you with the 2003 Living Legend Award.
Thank you so much.
I mean, 3,000 votes is something, but to think you beat the second place guy, Sam Weiss, by 1,700 something votes.
Sam Weiss was one of my idols, too. I mean, I've been watching him play, and I'm very impressed.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about your background and where it all started. I know you grew up there in Belton, and you've been a professional karate instructor since graduating from Erskine back many years ago.
Many years before me, back in the 70s, actually.
But now, how did you get into it? At what point in time did you decide that you wanted to
Coming out of high school, I was a track athlete on scholarship. I was very fortunate to be good at track. I was looking for a way to stay in shape during the summer, and I went to see a movie called Billy Jack, which probably nobody's ever heard of. And there was a move in this movie where, he was surrounded by like 20 some odd people, and they said, "We're going to beat you up." And he goes, "Yeah, but I'm going to get you first. I'm going to take my foot and do this with it." And I just thought that was just the coolest move ever. So, now looking back, it's something a yellow belt could do right now, but that just so impressed me at the time that I wanted to do that. And there was a little class at Tri-County Tech, which is about 30 miles from where I live, starting that summer. So instead of just running to stay in shape with track, I decided to do the martial arts, and I drove up there. And I know this sounds cheesy, but from the first lesson, I knew that was something I really wanted to do the rest of my life.
Well, it was a good choice, obviously. Of the many accomplishments out there, and some of those include 17 state championships, 3 national karate titles, as well as a 2-time world karate champion. Any of those stick out? Obviously, it gets no better than a world champion.
Yeah, and 2 of those world championships. There's 2 ways to go about winning a world championship in sport karate. NASCA, the North American Sport Karate Association, is where you start in January and they have a national tour. It's like and the one with the most points at the end wins. And the other one is the National Black Belt League, which is kind of like the ACC basketball tournament. You fight all year to get your seed, but that one day, you all come together and one walks away. I've been fortunate enough to win both of them, so I guess I've been lucky with that.
Did either one, obviously both probably meant something different to you, but did either one mean more to you considering?
Well, the NBL was my first world title, and I beat the guy in the finals who was already a big name when I started karate, and it was in Atlantic City at Different Hotel, and being a little boy from Belton, all of a sudden fighting in a ballroom on the boardwalk was a big deal to me. So that one kind of stood out. And that one's what really got my name and face in the magazines, and from there it kind of built on.
I know another part that I know you had to be very proud of was with the Chuck Norris team that traveled to Russia, and you were named the most valuable U.S. fighter on that team.
Yeah, I think it was because I was on energy at the end because you couldn't eat the food over there. But Chuck had some good people, and I had Rick Lee from Spartanburg with me, and we went over there, and we really trained for this. I mean, we really took it seriously. We went over there to make a mark, and we specialize. There's so many areas in karate you can do. You can do weapons. You can do it just to get in shape. You work on the forms, the art form. We specialize in the competition fighting, and at the time we were at the top of our game. So I was fortunate enough to to peak when I was supposed to during the tour.
What year was this on the Russian trip?
91, I believe. Okay. 91.
And then in 93, I guess it was, is when you guys went to China.
Went to China. Well, it wasn't the same team, the same sponsor team. Right. And we went into China, and we got to go to the monastery where the Shaolin monks lived. They based a series Kung Fu on, so that was kind of cool. And, we got to train with some of those and compete against those guys. So it's kind of neat to go back where it supposedly all started from anyway.
Absolutely. And when you retired, one thing I noticed is you had one of the longest winning streaks in the country.
Yeah, and it got to the point where all you could do was get beat.
Absolutely.
And there was so much talent just in my school that I just said, well, it's time for me to pass the torch on. And now we've got like some of the best fighters in the nation coming out of our school. You know, South has always been strong in karate. A lot of people don't know this, but the southern part of the country has always been really strong in sport karate, along with California, Texas, and the Chicago area.
Why is that?
I don't know that it's because we took on to it faster down here. I couldn't tell you. I know when I first started, Southern fighters had the better technique. Texas fighters were the Joe Frazier type. You hit me, I'll hit you. We'll see who wins. California was like blitzing straight in fighters, and Chicago was like, let's hook it up and go and see who's left standing at the end. So everybody had a character about them.
So those in martial arts, you can tell, from a fighting style, where someone's from.
You take the top 20 fighters in the nation, they can tell you everything about the other 19 you need to know.
Oh, that's incredible stuff. If you want to join in with Marty, congratulate him or ask him any questions, you can do that. Toll free, 1-800-499-1049, 654-0606 in the Clemson area. And for all you Autel users, star 1049. That is a free call. Now, you're currently on the staff at Anderson College. You teach karate as a part of the physical education program. How did you get in that, and at what point in time did you want to make that transition?
Well, I attended Anderson College back, once again, many years ago when I got my Associate of Arts there when it was a 2-year college. And I was in the karate program there, which was coincided with the time I really got into karate to begin with. So I got to carry on my karate career there. And then after I graduated, I went on to Erskine, graduated there, started my career. And one of the gentlemen that I graduated college with ended up being the athletic director at Anderson College. I sponsored the state karate games, which were held at the college at the time. Kind of outgrew it now, moved to the fairgrounds. But they had all these all these PE programs. And I go, let's put karate in. Since I do have a college degree, and it tickles my mother to death, I'm finally using my college degree, that I got to go over there and start the PE program. And the kids, when I was in college, I got to get a PE credit for it. Now, these kids get to do the same thing.
The Marty Knight Family Karate Center is, I know, a very popular item here in the upstate. To find out more about it, MartyKnightKarate.com.
MartyKnightKarate.com has just about everything. Now, we have a great, Teresa Buchanan does a great job on the website. I know nothing about, I can check my emails, but that's it. But all the information should be on the website there, and they can leave a guest list where they can leave comments, or they can email me from there.
And on that as well, there's phone numbers, there's ways to get in touch with you, and there's a calendar of the events.
Calendar of events. South Carolina has its own state karate circuit, and one of the biggest tournaments in the nation is held in Spartanburg. So, and it's by Rick and Nicky Lee were two of my black belts that took from me in Anderson and moved to Spartanburg. So the Southern karate is strong. South Carolina karate is strong. It's just that we're still that secondary sport. Right. But it's growing by leaps and bounds.
As far from the international scene, is there the leader in karate? We think about the Far East, as far as the originator of it, but is there a better part of the country?
Americans dominate sport karate right now. The Europeans are coming along more in the kickboxing area, but as far as sport karate, Americans are dominating now. And when we went to Russia and China, it was communist at the time. So they weren't allowed to really practice it. When we went over there to compete, it was called an exhibition, not a contest. Now that the walls are down, it's opened up, generally karate stepped up a level in all nations. So it will be an Olympic sport to vie with, I would say, within 15 years.